check out this video here that Gavin Newsom shared. You saw a few seconds of it. Watch. It was titled, Children Protesters Running from Tear Gas During Immigration Raid.
They took your mom?
All right. So it's called tear gas for a reason. It does suck, believe it or not. It's actually horrible. I've been in a lot of it in my life. But Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, responded to this, right? You see the kids running, the teenager crying, right? Oh, this is horrible. And I don't want to be heartless. And the idea of families getting torn apart in and of itself is not a great thing. Like, even if you're in war and you have to kill people, knowing that it's someone's dad or brother, or, it's not something you celebrate in and of itself, unless you're heartless, which unfortunately I am. So there's that. But for the rest of us here, Gavin Newsom responds saying, kids running from tear gas, crying on the phone because their mother was just taken from the fields. Trump calls me new scum, but he's the real scum. Let's go. Wow, phone drop. All right. So this is what the left is saying. Reactions across the internet, as we give the background, are absolutely diabolical. There are individuals, I've responded to many of them, who were talking about this. And one of the narratives that was spreading about this raid, we're going to see, look at this. This is absolutely insane. This is a real, look at this, a real image. You have like Mexican fat nationals with Chad white ICE agents and a lot of these are probably even, these might even be National Guard. I don't even know. They might be the Marine Corps. I'm actually not even entirely sure.
I always find it interesting that they have their flag out because that's the country they don't want to go back to. But they're like, oh, look at this, Viva Mexico. And then it's like, yeah, we're going to send you back. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, they're very afraid. And this is what people are saying. Like here in LA, these are popular accounts. To give the background, as we set this up, said we live in a country where the people picking our fruits and vegetables are braver than our elected officials. Now, here's where we're going to jump into the conversation. I go, they shot at police as they attempted to free child slave laborers from a drug farm. This wasn't picking fruit and vegetables, LeMayo. So the narrative set up from the left is families were ripped apart at a fruit and vegetable farm because they were trying to feed America. But the truth came out. This was illegal, I'll clarify, a legal cannabis farm, but there were at least 9 minors, unaccompanied minors. That doesn't include the ones that were there. So this leads up a big question of like, okay, if they were accompanied during a normal workday, why are minors in a cultivation field? Number one, if people really are here just for work, why are their whole families here? If they're just migration, temporary seasonal workers, that blows that narrative. And 3, this is a cannabis farm. Though legal, it would be like saying like, oh, well, abortion's legal and there's a 6-year-old performing them. You're like, well, there is a huge difference between something that's immoral and legal, but yet still you don't have kids involved in it.
Yeah.
This whole story to me just reminds me of how absolutely corrupt California is, how terrible the situation is, and realistically, it's actually worse than I thought.
Yeah, usually is. The truth is usually always worse than you think. I've realized that over the years. And not for nothing, though, this kid's having small hands. As a New Yorker, coming from New York, we have some experience packing grams, and trap houses and stuff like that in order to survive.
Yeah.
It's just that's all I'm going to say for now. But we have some experience. Those little hands must be helpful to put the stuff inside the little
fingers,
plastic.
little bags.
Yeah,
little dime bags.
Don't miss a gram.
Nix.
It's true. It feels lightweight, but they can tell. They also don't need scales because their hands are so small. They can tell the difference if you nicked a few grams. You know what? It's true. By the way, and this
little essay pick then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, listen. So somebody put up this video here. Wu-Tang is for the children because now we got to fight. Like now the left is fighting for child trafficking victims to be able to remain trafficked.
Well, and with them saying the farm, I don't know if Mike, you could pull up my screen. We have to update the liberal dictionary. We actually have a photo of like how we're supposed to represent all this.
Do we have that? We can just keep chatting until he can bring it up.
Okay. Well, kind of breaks it down how they're kind of deranged and yeah. But yeah, no, it's crazy with these kids, what they have going on. The kids shouldn't have been at the field. And it also shows, as you kind of mentioned, it takes away from that whole worker aspect of it. It wasn't someone who just came to work. Yep. They gathered the whole family. They brought everybody here. And the liberals are just bending over backwards, just trying to make it make sense.
Yeah, but here's the other narrative I want to break. So number one, the fruit and vegetable pickers, like, it's an irrelevant position. This is drugs, okay? And I know, like, and by the way, once it came out that it was drugs, instead of just like apologizing, people on the left were like, they were people that were trying to heal America. They were apothecary. Somebody said they were apothecary employees. Someone else said they were literally cultivating America's medicine. Now, maybe Daquan or, Durrell's medicine, but not my medicine. And I'm not anti-weed, by the way. Like, I am not anti-weed, but I am anti-weed culture. I'm anti what weed has become. I think weed is actually medicine, and I think it should be regulated. I wouldn't say like opiates, but thanks to the Sackler family, a family from Connecticut, I think J.D. Vance, is that what he said, right? A family from Connecticut.
It's always Connecticut, isn't it?
It's always Connecticut.
It all leads there, and it ties into
That's where I'm from.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
He is Greek, by the way.
and Greeks have a history of like,
they kicked out the Connecticut employees, right?
Exactly.
Or citizens.
But I've heard about, like the PDFs and stuff like that. They tend to like Connecticut and its laws. And I've had friends that put their kids in daycare that got like touched by staff that then disappeared and left.
And they turned out to be Connecticut employees?
It was all in Connecticut.
Citizens? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? We talked about that. Like, would you rather live in a city with Connecticut citizens or Lake Worth residents?
I disagree with Lily a little bit.
Me too.
She chose, I get she's probably familiar with her Lake Worth people compared to ours here. Mine are mostly West Delray people. Then East Delray is very, Jewish. So
Connecticut.
I prefer Connecticut. Yeah.
I'm in East Delray now. I moved out of. I'm in Delray, but it is very Connecticutian there. I'm just gonna tell you that you don't even have to. You can buy bait and tackle, but you don't need hooks because the people were born with them. But this being said, Wu-Tang said this. This is the narrative, right? About so they're kidnapping people is what they're saying. Not all heroes wear capes. Man tries to hold up a Nazi convoy going through Camarillo, California to hunt and kidnap farm workers. Here's me breaking the narrative. They call me the breaker of narratives. I said they need to be armed because the drug farm workers, I'm calling them drug farm workers, were shooting at ICE agents. Watch the footage while they tried to shut down the child slave labor operation. In 2025, being a Nazi is when you free kids from being slaves that harvest drugs and you return them home. Isn't that kidnapping now? Is taking kids from a child trafficking center and placing them back home. Like, that's that doesn't make any sense. It's like they're kidnapping kids from cultivating our drugs and sending them to their families. Like, that's reverse kidnapping. That's unkidnapping. That's kid-unnapping. I don't even know what the phrase is. But it is.
Making?
Yeah, kid making. That's my favorite thing to do. But that's it's the best part. But the rest, the next many years is difficult. But you know what I'm saying? No, it's like crazy. It's like they're kidnapping. Yeah. It's like the idea is, and then by the way, they're waving Mexican flags. Like you were saying, it's so great. They're trying to help you get there. Mm-hmm. You're waving a Mexican flag, and they're saying, "We're going to on taxpayer dollars. This is
we'll send you back.
We'll send you back." And they go, "No."
That's how I know it's in America. Because if it's a protest and there's no American flags, we're in America. It's happening in America for sure. Because that's just been a pattern I noticed. But
well, by the way, and they asked, they're like, "Why do you need military vehicles? Why do you need military vehicles?" Here's the other narrative.
Shot at?
Well, yes, we will play that. But look what happens when you're in normal law enforcement vehicles, not armored vehicles. Look at this. Yeah, well, that doesn't look good.
That's just what we want in our country.
These are...
They're just sharing the earth with them.
Yeah.
Minerals. This pisses me off, though, in all honesty. Joking aside, both my parents are immigrants. They came here legally. This just pisses me off. This actually like enrages me. Like
Mm-hmm.
in general, seeing the response. I know Walmart kind of funded a lot of those protests that you went to and all that stuff. But
Yeah, Walmart funded a lot of this.
a lot
Yeah.
of it,
The
right?
Walton family.
It's like you say this stuff to people and they think you're crazy, even though it's like I
They
think
admitted it. They were like,
yeah, it's
they
mainstream
said we
stuff.
were going to do this, and then they did it. They were like, you're going to take away our temporary seasonal workers, which are not seasonal. That's H2B, by the way. You're going to get in the way. And you're like, wait, temporary workers? Isn't that H1B? No, you're talking about illegals. When you go to Walmart, now, it used to be after 9 before COVID was 24 hours, but now you go any time of the day, you can't find people that speak English in Walmart.
No.
Have you ever noticed that? You go there and it's like, ¿qué?
A lot of
¿Se habla
times,
español?
a lot of times I know in Walmart parking lots, you're actually allowed to camp out in them. So you can stay overnight in a Walmart parking lot. So a lot of times you find illegals, they go to Walmart because that's a place that they can be there. They're not going to be getting kicked out for being there. That's why you see a lot of RVs that park in Walmart parking lots sometimes and things like that.
Would they do that on purpose?
I don't know.
By the way, you want
good
to
to
bring your
know.
mic a little closer to your mouth? Sorry, I know they're
worries.
they're sensitive like women, but
worries.
like anything black, don't
Giggity.
get too close.
Oh yeah.
By the way, these people aren't doing much to dispel the savage narrative by throwing rocks. Next, they're going to be chucking spears, and I don't think that's going to do them any favors with making them look better.
Yeah, it's like. By the way, let us stay, amigo. Pinche tu madre, and like chucking. Those are not, by the way, not rocks. I have to say this. I may become an Israel supporter because,
No record scratch?
yeah.
There
I was
you
gonna
go.
say I may become an Israel supporter because what if we apply to these Mexican foreigners, because they're foreigners, but these are not Americans. These are not. Everyone goes, I have a Mexican friend. No, you have an American citizen friend, okay, who has a piece of paper that makes them American. I didn't say they are American. They have a piece of paper that says they are. And that is not a Mexican. A Mexican is a national of Mexico. Thank you very much. You have
Afuera, cabrón. That's what I would tell them.
Thank you.
Outside.
But,
Afuera,
like-
get out.
Exactly. But maybe we do what the IDF does, where if a child has a rock and they throw it at you, how do you respond?
Destroy everything around it?
You blow, yeah. You blow.
Drop unlimited
you
amount
blow
of
up the
bombs.
hospital.
And yeah.
You drop. It's like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine they threw the rocks at those cars, so they blew up Camarillo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like this just carpet bombed Camarillo. That's an Israeli. That's a very Israeli response.
Yeah.
Did I say I agree with it? No, but I'm saying, like, I don't think in our country we should be, like, law enforcement shouldn't be abusing its charter, but I don't think federal agents should take that. I think that if you
Yeah.
are throwing rocks, like stones like that at a window, that they should use force. I don't know if they have to mow them all down. I could dream, but at least they should pop like to the guy who's doing that. These Hispanic guys, they are big. They eat a lot. They're very large. And I think a couple shots in the gut would not be anything problematic. Although I do know that they realize that if they do start killing these people, if they do start killing them, there would be outrage. And that being said, they tried to say that they killed someone at this. I don't know if you saw this.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they did try to say that they killed somebody. And one of those people, let me see if I can find this.
And the one thing, like you were saying, it's not like they came here and they immigrated here, first off legally, but then also to have love for the country, be excited to be a part of the country. We've seen that with the South Africans when they came here. These people come here, they're very entitled. They try to take and consume as much as they can and just live recklessly. And these aren't the type of people that we want in our country. And the crazy part is too, is they're over here, they're fighting us saying that, okay, we, they want to stay here and we're such bad people. But then at the same time, they're in Mexico trying to kick us out, like the irony of it.